What if you have all the material, you know exactly what you have to study, but you can't seem to find the time? Here's how to organize yourself academically. Hi, and welcome to the Law Simplified. I'm Shaveen Bandaranaike. Many students around the world have reached out to me, often with one very simple and straightforward question. How do I organize myself? How do I find the time necessary to prepare for an assessment or examinations in law? Now, on a number of occasions on this very YouTube channel, as well as the different platforms the Law Simplified is disseminated on, I've tried to impress upon everyone the fact that you need to respect this degree with focus and time. The reason I've often said that is because the difference between passing and acing an examination in law is the amount of time and effort that you put into preparation. That being said, not every student has the luxury of being able to articulate responses in a relatively straightforward manner based on distilling information that is provided to them by their university or institution. As a result, this problem of organizing yourself academically is the difference between succeeding or failing at a law degree. This video is meant to provide a framework for you to apply to your day-to-day life in order to make sure that you are optimizing your time in a manner which facilitates your personal life, your work life if you are doing so, as well as your academic career in terms of your LLB, GDL, or even a higher LLM or PhD qualification. The first step is to find patterns in your day. What do I mean by this? Irrespective of the type of person that you are, whether you are a full-time student, a part-time one, we all have routines that we've set for ourselves. As I mentioned in my How to Ace a Law Exam video, which you can check through the links below or the pop-up that will appear up top, I used to allocate 2 hours each day, broken into 1-hour blocks before going to work and soon after coming. And I would consider the weekends as academic cheat days, where I try to clock in at least 5 hours of study on the Saturday as well as the Sunday. Each of us has our own little routine that we are comfortable with. But the key is to try and find a pattern. And the pattern here is to determine the most productive periods that you have during any period of time, each and every day. Finding the productive period of time might seem like a daunting task at first, but think of it as trying to determine when you're at your best, when you feel most like doing work. You might have heard of people saying, oh, I'm a morning person, I'm an evening person, or I perform best at night. Try to figure out at which point of the day do you feel that way? Do you feel most optimum? The most energetic, so to speak. Which brings me to the second step, which is to find your focus point. Your focus point is essentially the most optimum period of your energy. For me, personally, I'm a morning person, and whenever I have, let's say, sessions, or whenever I'm doing an edit, for instance, or a workshop or a tutorial, the time span between 7:30 and 9:30 is when I operate best. My day-to-day routine generally involves a morning run, followed by either breakfast if it's not too early in the day for a session, and then jump straight into a tutorial or a workshop. That's when I'm most optimum. But I do have students, for instance, who prefer to actually get work done towards the evening or sometimes late at night. It depends on who you are, but try to find your focus point, the most energetic period of each individual day. Once you find this intersection, you've figured out the patterns of your day. Each day will be different from one to the other rather. And the focus point in each day will also differ. That's what you call the sweet spot. Once you have done that, it's all about plugging in the relevant subjects and topics into those positions. Now, mind you, not only would each day or the pattern of each day be different to one another and the focus point be different to one another. But the time frame of each day that you are able to focus will also change. So for instance, Mondays are often relatively tiring for a person who's working full time. The amount of focus time that you can, or the focus point that you can allocate might be far less, for instance, than on a Saturday or a Sunday. Now, the reason why it's important to identify the subjects and the topics is because you need to assess how much time each topic is going to take. So, for instance, if you take a relatively straightforward first-year subject like contract law, a topic like agreement might take less time than, for instance, terms and regulation of terms, like exclusion clauses, which is much more broad. There are a lot of nuances that you need to go through. What that would mean is that you need to use your focus point on a day where you might only have an hour, at best 90 minutes, for a topic like agreement, rather than starting something like terms and exclusion clauses and then having to stop halfway. Because while you might not feel it subjectively, there is a morale boost when you are able to complete topics as you go. That being said, until the next time that we meet, have fun, stay safe, and as always, obey the law.